Well, good morning, everybody. This is DearMamaSal on a nasty-looking morning. It's looks like there could be a really big storm today. Yeah, and I'm definitely dressed for it. Maybe let's get my raincoat closer to my purse at night. Okay, let me just tell you, I'm very distracted this morning. I've got a problem where I've got a rear light bulb that is out, and I don't know which one of the lights has gone. And I'm trying to work out whether to do it on my way into work. I think I'm going to go straight to work. I've had a request to talk a little bit about my I'm a Slob watch. I'm going to put some links into the notes below, just so that you can click on them easily. And I just need to start off by saying I do not get paid by these people. So anything I'm about to say, good or bad, is just because that's what I feel. First of all, I'd like to give you some history. For those who don't know, that somebody actually gave me a very pretty I'm a Slob watch, otherwise known as a fitness watch, which in my case just showed me that I was a slob. Somebody gave me one, Cisco, for those of you who know Cisco, gave me one for Christmas. And unfortunately, it broke within a few months. When I say it broke, the strap broke. And so I definitely wasn't going to get another one of those, because if the straps only last for a couple of months, why would I? I call that built-in obsolescence, where you obviously have to keep buying new straps for the thing, and I'm not interested in that. So I decided to get a different model, and what I got was the Runtastic, like Runtastic. I hope I spelled that right. The reason I got it, to be honest, was it was that much cheaper than a Fitbit. Now, the Fitbit was what I would like to have got if I had enough money, but I didn't. I was trying not to spend too much money. So this one came in at a medium price. It wasn't a cheap watch. It cost me about 100 and something, the low hundreds though. Maybe 120, I think, Canadian. And I seem to remember, and I can't actually remember where I got it. I think I might have got it at Staples, funnily enough. I could be wrong. And I got it there just because I happened to be passing the store, and I went in for something else, and I just on the off chance said, do you by any chance happen to have any fitness watches? So I liked it because it had a black band. My previous one had a shocking pink band, and quite honestly, I wear a lot of reds and oranges, and I didn't like, from a fashion point of view, I didn't like the fact that that clashed with everything. Now, I'm sure it's very modern to have them clashing, but I'm old school, so to me it was very uncomfortable. I like the design because it's pretty elegant, it's pretty low-key, and it has a really secure clasp to it. Now, what it does is it basically keeps track of the movement of your arm, or your hand in this case. Now, it does come with different color bands, and I'll take some shots of that tonight. I think it has a blue band as well as this black one, so you can choose what color band to have. But I would never wear the blue because it's bright blue. If it had been dark blue, I might have considered it, but no. And it also comes with a charger, which is specific to the watch. So if you lose it, you're sunk. and I can't remember what else, but I'll have a look in the box when I upload this video. The whole point about it is it keeps track of the movement of your hand, whatever hand you're wearing it on, or if you happen to have it, that's the other thing it has actually now, that it has a clasp where you can actually clasp it onto your body. If you don't want to be wearing a watch, you can clasp it on to your waistband, onto your bottom of your trousers if you want to, like a pedometer. But I prefer it to wear it the way that I wanted it, which was as a watch. And it's waterproof, which means that every time you shower, you don't have to worry about taking it off and putting it back on again. A lot of people ask me, isn't it sweaty under the watch because it's plastic? And my answer is no, actually it hasn't been. But then I don't wear it that tight either. You know what I mean? It's tight enough that it doesn't move, but I haven't got it so tight that it's sweaty underneath it. It not only tells you the time, how many steps you've done, but it also tells you how many calories you've burned, what distance you've walked, and how many minutes of the day you've been active in its view. The other thing it has going for it, which is really quite funny, is it has an option that you activate, and I did activate mine, which if you've been sitting around for too long, it'll tell you. It's really cute. It buzzes you, sort of vibrates the watch, and when you look at it, you're going, why is that vibrating? And the reason is you've been sitting for too long. There's a sort of picture of a stick man sitting on a chair, which tells you you've been sitting for too long. Get off your and go do something. The question I got asked was, what motivates me to put in the extra steps? Now this one, quite honestly, I think has been the key to my still being, there are two things actually, being the key to my still being very actively using it. Number one, I got a fitness buddy, that would be Ange, because she also had a similar type watch, not the same, but a similar type one. And so, and I'm in contact with Ange fairly regularly during the day. And so what we do is we start each communication, almost, not all of them, but with how many steps we've done. So the other person knows how far you've gone. And that's actually quite a good thing to do, because it sort of keeps you on track. And I reckon that that's helped a great deal. I'm be interested to hear what Angela's comment is about it, but it really has helped me, where I go, oh gosh, Angela's nearly beating me. And I expect her to beat me because she's younger, but it's just like, you know, it's just like, oh, I better get off my doofus here. Anyway, so that's one thing. The other thing that motivates me is I keep track, but I'm that sort of a person, I realize. I keep track of the scores during the day. In other words, about every hour, I actually check to see what I've done. Because I've worked it out that I need to be at a certain place by 12 o'clock, for example. And I need to be at, my goal is to get to 50% of my daily goal by lunchtime. And then to get to 100% of my daily goal by the time I leave work. Now, this is another thing that was really important to me. I checked when I first got the watch, I checked to see how many steps should somebody of my age be doing in a day. And I did that after I'd worn the watch for 2 days to find out what I was really doing. And quite honestly, I was horrified. Because it said that I should be doing 8,000 steps a day, and quite honestly, I was doing about 3.5. So immediately, that is demotivating, not motivating. Do you understand? You're going, there's no way I'm going to just double this. There's no way I'm going to do that. So what I did was actually very different. The watch actually syncs with my smartphone. And in the statistics part in the smartphone app, it will tell you what your average is per day. In other words, after you've done a week, it will tell you, okay, your average is so many steps a day. You know, some days you do more, some days you do less, but your average is X. And so what I've been doing is very slowly, literally, every couple of weeks, I have been upping the minimum, the average. Wait a minute, is that what I've been doing? Yeah, I've been upping the goal very slightly. Now, the goal is nowhere near 8,000. I think my goal at the moment is about 5,500 steps a day. And I'm doing that pretty well this week. So you can see that I've nearly doubled my steps without causing a big scene and scaring myself stupid. I've nearly doubled my steps in, when did I get it? July, August, in a couple of months. And I think that's healthy. You know, I didn't scare myself. I didn't immediately try and do 10,000 steps a day or whatever, because I knew I would just crash and burn if I did that. I really do need to do this for me, not to impress anybody else. And the way I do that is to just slowly get where I want to go. And it has made a difference. I am really aware of how many steps I take in a day, especially Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And what I also know is that I spend a lot of time sitting on my butt at weekends. And that would be because I spend a lot of time on the computer. So being aware of that, I try very hard to do things at the weekends that will add steps. For example, I went for that walk last weekend. I found out that if I do a big cook-up, it uses a lot of steps. And so what you're looking for is just to increase your steps as far as possible. And as long as my weekly average is good, I'm happy. You know, if it is that I put in more steps during the week than I do during the weekends, that's fine. And the other thing I'm doing, and I think it's important for a lot of you, is I am not getting out there and exercising 3 times a week at the moment. The reason for that is I'm trying to do this that it becomes a lifestyle thing in my general life, and then as I need to increase it, which I will also have the stamina to go out and do the exercise part of it. Now, I did find out that I could walk for a straight hour, which when I say I could, that probably, of course you can. So yeah, I want to tell you something. When you're at the weight that I've gone up to, that's not as easy as you think. So I was really impressed that I was able to do that, and I believe I was able to do it because I built up the steps. And so really, my total steps in a day is equivalent to about an hour of walking, which is not very much when you think about it. But it's also equivalent to 2.5 kilometers a day. And so you look at it and you go, slowly, slowly catch the monkey was an expression I remember from Africa. Baby steps. I also am busy working on Plan B for when the rainy season comes here, and it's coming fast. And when I say the rainy season, we do get quite a bit of rain here in the Pacific Northwest. So the temptation will be not to go out and do anything. But I'm trying to work on a plan to make sure that I do. In other words, what am I going to do that's going to make me walk and be more active? And part of me goes, there's a lot of my house that needs cleaning out, and there's no doubt about it that doing spring cleaning type stuff uses up a lot of action, surprisingly so. To give you some sort of idea, I noticed this morning, just getting up and getting my my lunch ready for lunch and snacks ready for work. I nearly said school. Took about 600 steps. So it's about what steps are you doing? Now, a lot of you probably have no idea, but here's another thing. If you've got a smartphone, most smartphones have an app available, and it's normally free, called a pedometer, P-E-D, pedometer. And that will tell you as long as you have the phone on you. Now, I'm not good about having my phone on me. I don't always have pockets in my clothes or whatever. And so what I'm inclined to do is to not have my phone on me. But that, again, I think is part of my age. Most people I know actually have their phone attached to their hip, not literally, but figuratively speaking, and therefore maybe you can use a pedometer that way. But there are a lot of fitness apps that are free if you want to start getting an idea. And if you don't have a smartphone, then you can pick up just a regular pedometer at most stores. When I say most stores, but most general stores like Walmart or something like that. If you just ask them for a pedometer, they should be able to give you a choice without you having to spend $120 or whatever I spent on this thing. So there's the overall view. Do I like it? Yes. What don't I like about it? Now, there's two things. My previous watch, I didn't like the fact that if I got up in the middle of the night to pee, which I always do, it thought I'd woken up. And so it stopped the sleep cycle. And that really frustrated me. So one of the things that I got on this watch was that you actually had to tell it you're going to sleep. The downside of that is you have to tell it that you woke up. Otherwise, 10 o'clock in the morning, you suddenly realize it still thinks you're asleep, and therefore it's not counting all the things it should count. By the way, I also have to tell it that I went to sleep. So if you accidentally fall asleep without telling it, it still thinks you're awake. So that would be a downside. That's the only downside I think I have found on this watch. I love it. And it tells the time. And I definitely must say that I do like the fact that it tells me to get off my rump if I'm sitting around too much at the weekend. I definitely like that. So, I'll take some pictures and put some links in the notes section below so that you can have a look at it. I'm not particularly promoting my particular watch. What I'm saying is if you want to get more fit, it's a nice way to keep track. However, whether it's a treadmill, a total gym, a Fitbit, or a Runtastic, or whatever, let me tell you something. The tendency is that in the first month you will use it a lot, and after that it will become a very expensive thing to hang your clothes on. What I found by wearing this watch is I wear it all the time. I never take it off except to charge it. And I've been wearing a fitness watch either this one or the one before it, since Christmas. Why? It's fascinating. It really is interesting to see what you do. And by the way, this particular watch has another app attached to it where you can log in if you do, go for a run or do stuff like that, and that's all trackable on my computer. I haven't quite worked out how to do that one properly yet, but I'm working on it. All right, everybody, so the word for today: fit. Look after yourself by getting more fit, and look after others if you can. This is Dear Mama Sal saying bye-bye for now.